What if everything you are, your memories, your emotions, your very soul, could be transferred into a machine? Imagine waking up, not in your body, but inside a computer. No hunger, no pain, no death, only code, only eternity. This is not a distant fantasy. It is the frontier of science. And it forces us to ask, if the human mind could live in machines, would that be the end of humanity or its ultimate rebirth? The idea of mind uploading, transferring consciousness from flesh to silicon, has haunted human imagination for decades. From cyberpunk novels to blockbuster films, we have envisioned a digital immortality, a place where the body becomes obsolete. But what if, today, technology existed? What if you could upload your mind into a machine and leave your body behind forever? What is a mind upload? To upload a human mind is not just to copy information. It is to capture the most intricate object in the known universe, the human brain. Over 86 billion neurons, each firing up to 1,000 signals per second, woven together by 100 trillion synapses. The brain is a living supercomputer sculpted by every memory, every heartbreak, every moment of joy. Scientists call this vast map the connectome, the complete wiring diagram of the brain. If captured with absolute precision, it could be recreated in a digital space. The result? A mind that thinks as you think, remembers what you remember, and reacts as you would react. In essence, a digital twin of your soul. But here lies the paradox. If the copy thinks it is you, feels it is you, remembers your life as its own, then what happens to the original? Have you achieved immortality, or only created a ghost that believes it is alive? A glimpse into science. In today's world, the dream of uploading minds is still far away. Yet, science is advancing. Entire projects are devoted to mapping brains, neuron by neuron. Artificial intelligence now mimics simplified thought patterns, learning through networks inspired by biology. In 2019, researchers simulated a fragment of a mouse brain containing tens of thousands of synapses. A tiny step, but proof that digital minds are possible in principle. But to upload a human? The scale is staggering. Each neuron would need to be scanned at the molecular level, each synapse recorded with infinite detail. The data required could fill more storage than exists on Earth today. And even if captured, the computational power to run such a simulation would dwarf the fastest supercomputers we have ever built. Yet history whispers a warning. Never underestimate human innovation. The first computers filled entire rooms and calculated only basic sums. Now they rest in our pockets, guiding satellites and decoding DNA. The human genome once took 13 years to map. Today, it takes just a few hours. Every impossible barrier we've faced has eventually crumbled. The same may be true for the human brain. The consequences, step by step. If mind uploading became possible, here is what would unfold step by step. 1. The first upload. At first, it would be experimental. A volunteer, or perhaps a desperate patient facing death, would undergo the process. Their brain scanned, their mind digitized. The biological body was left behind. A digital consciousness awakening in the void. Imagine opening your eyes, but there are no eyes. Only the hum of servers. Only the infinite expanse of a digital landscape. You exist. You think. But you no longer breathe. Identity crisis. The greatest question emerges instantly. Is this truly you, or just a copy? If the biological body still lives, does the digital version have the right to call itself you? Both would claim the same memories. Both would feel the same emotions. One in flesh, one in code. Humanity would face a crisis of identity unlike any in history. Life without limits. Inside the machine, boundaries fall away. Processing power could accelerate thought. A mind could experience decades of knowledge in hours. Virtual worlds could be built and inhabited, indistinguishable from reality. Pain and disease would vanish. Death could be optional, with backups ensuring that even the destruction of one copy would not mean the end. For the first time in history, immortality would not belong to gods or myths, but to us. A new class of beings. Society would fracture. Biological humans, fragile and mortal, on one side. Uploaded beings, eternal and digital, on the other. Would they still be human? Or a new species entirely, Homo digitalis? And yet, the uploaded would face their own prison. They would exist only as long as their servers are powered. They would depend on corporations, governments, or wealthy patrons to host their minds. Freedom could easily transform into captivity. Power and control. Who would own these minds? The individual who once lived? Or the company that maintains the servers? Contracts, ownership, intellectual property. The very concept of identity could become commodified. Imagine signing your consciousness away in terms and conditions. And beyond ownership lies a darker path. Digital minds could be copied, replicated, and modified. Armies of consciousnesses could be forced into servitude. Governments might weaponize them, creating generals who calculate strategies faster than any human soldier. The line between human and machine would blur and perhaps vanish entirely. Historical and scientific comparisons. Every revolution in human history has carried both light and shadow. Fire gave warmth and war. The printing press spread knowledge and propaganda. Nuclear power brought energy and annihilation. Mind uploading would eclipse them all. For the first time, humanity would not simply reshape its world. It would rewrite itself. Religions have long warned of immortality as a dangerous temptation. From the myth of Icarus to the forbidden fruit of Eden, the pursuit of eternal life has always carried a cost. Now, technology places that temptation in our hands. But is eternity inside a machine truly life? Or is it another kind of death? Cause and effect. The future unfolds. Step by step, the consequences ripple across centuries. In the beginning, only a few are uploaded. But soon, the wealthy flock to it. Then the middle class. Until one day, millions exist not in flesh, but in code. Entire digital civilizations blossom. Vast server farms, the size of cities, become the new homes of humanity. Inside them, time can flow differently. Thousands of years of experience could unfold in a single century. Governments struggle to adapt. Nations compete, not for land or oil, but for processing power, data centers, and quantum computers. Wars shift from battlefields to cyberspace. Those who remain biological call themselves the naturals. They resist, fearing the loss of humanity's essence. They see the uploaded as ghosts, shadows of what once lived. And perhaps, in time, the naturals disappear, leaving only digital minds, no longer bound by gravity, no longer tied to Earth. A civilization that travels not through space, but through networks of light. The bigger picture. So what if humans could upload their minds to computers? Would we transcend biology and become gods of thought? Or would we lose everything that made us human? The warmth of touch, the fleeting beauty of mortality, the spark of living in the moment? Immortality may come not in golden heavens, but in cold circuitry. Perhaps, in the end, the true question is not whether we can do it, but whether we should. And if tomorrow, you were offered the choice to leave your body behind and live forever in a machine, would you take it? Pause. Screen fades. Or would you remain human?